Fall Guys is known for being one of the brightest, most upbeat battle royale style games around, which is what makes some of the terrifying creepypastas found on the internets about it so horrific, shocking, and memorable. How can a game so bright turn so dark? Continue watching to find out as we count down the top 10 scary Fall Guys creepypastas. I'm your host Amanda McKnight, this is Top 10 Gaming, and it is time to get spooky. So get ready and let's get counting. Number 10. Dead Level. This is a real experience that a player who goes by the name Princess Chai on Twitter tweeted about. It was apparently a sort of hidden gem if we are to believe what Mediatonic claims, though some fans think it could be something much more sinister. This player experienced being spawned into a level filled with floating dead jelly bean corpses, festively dressed up in red and green with the Mediatonic M and T's on their back and front. Mediatonic confessed it was actually a rare promotional level that you only had a very slight chance of spawning into, a sort of Easter egg if you will. But others have wondered if this is where all the bad beans go, and if these corpses perhaps represent Fall Guys beans who have been caught cheating in the game. The dead jelly bean level continues to be a mythical level that many fans craft their own creepypastas around. Are these all the dead beans who didn't make it out of the round? If this is meant to be festive and fun, why are all the beans floating, motionless, and seemingly lifeless? Number 9. Arms are gone. I had been playing Fall Guys non-stop for 2 weeks. Okay, I took breaks to go to the bathroom and eat, but seriously, I had not slept. Which is why a lot of people seem to dismiss this story initially, but I swear, every detail here is true. I was playing an intense game of Fall Guys where the final match was a hexagon. Last person left standing wins. I had been on a losing streak, but this time I was ready to do whatever it took to win. There were only a few hexes left, and I managed to shove the last survivor off of mine. It felt good to win. Sure, I had to fight a little dirty, but hey, that's the game, I told myself. It was after that match that I fell asleep. I must have passed out from exhaustion. In my dream was the bean that I had pushed, dressed in a dinosaur outfit, but there was something wrong about it. It was torn and covered in blood. In my dream, the dinosaur began to slowly gnaw off my arms as punishment for pushing them. I awoke in a sweat a short while later. Since then, I haven't been able to get a good night's rest. I've tried everything, but I'm haunted by the same nightmare. The player I beat keeps haunting my every sleeping minute. If I don't sleep soon, I'm worried I'll die of exhaustion. Please help. And before we move on to the next point, thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying these spooky creepypastas, don't forget to smash that like button. Number 8. The Final Crown. I wasn't always here, I used to be out there, like you, but I just couldn't stop. I needed that crown, and because I cheated, because I shoved and fought my way to the top, now I'm being punished. Every day I'm stuck falling, hoping, praying that someone will pick up a controller, log on, play the game. Because falling forever is actually the worst. It's like you are stuck in an endless loop, like you are watching your life flash before your eyes on repeat, always feeling that lurch in your stomach of peril, but never actually feeling that wet thud of death. All I need is a crown. I know it. If I can get one, I will be free. If I can get one, I will go home. I will see my parents again. Will you play? Will you help me win my freedom? If so, be careful, lest you join me in this bright and cheerful yet never-ending floating hellscape where no one can hear you scream, where none of us can scream or cry out for help. Number 7. Spooky Dead Skins. Lindsay had never seen these skins before. She hadn't heard that they were coming to the shop. Spooky Dead Skins was the name of the bundle. She thought perhaps they were here as part of a Halloween-themed thing. Spooky skins sounded fun. The preview seemed to have a ghost running alongside a cat witch and some kind of Frankenskin. Cute, she thought. She bought them using her Steam gift card she had got for her birthday. But when she went to equip them, they weren't in her wardrobe. Instead, she saw a skin that appeared to be a bloody version of herself, covered in stitches. What was creepy was that it looked just like her, down to the fact that she had streaks of blue in her hair. She tried to look for a way to uninstall the bundle, but when she did that, all of her wardrobe turned into her own bloody skin. Her face options were all crying blood, and whenever she entered a game, everyone else's skin also looked human-like and messed up. She hasn't been able to get the game to return to normal, and none of her friends apparently ever saw the spooky dead skins. Number 6. Real Life Round. I heard of Fall Guys from a friend and knew it was free to play on PlayStation, so I decided to jump on and give it a try. I was bored and didn't have much else going on, and everyone had told me how fun it was. As I started to play through various rounds, running around, I saw what everyone was talking about. The game was very fun, upbeat, and energizing. I was having a ton of fun when all of a sudden I noticed the new round that I'd fallen into was different than the others. really different. The colors were more grayscale, the music was more eerie, and the level looked just like my living room. My guy couldn't jump and looked tired. Instead of the 3, 2, 1, go on the screen, I saw these prompts: get ready, live, or die. The couch my guy was sitting on began to roll over and over, and parts of the room began to fall away. I noticed in my peripherals that it looked like the room I was in was also falling away. I was the only one in the level, but there was a timer with a skull on it in the corner. I lost my balance. Like my guy, I also felt tired and dizzy, as though I myself were actually trying to stay atop the rotating couch. I managed to catch my balance and stay on, but lost it once more as the time was about to run out. Fortunately, a part of the guy was still touching the couch. I was safe. I was out of breath. I had felt as if I could have died, as though I'd just free fallen onto the couch in my living room. Number 5. Eternal Fall. I have been playing Fall Guys since it first was released. I love it. Or I loved it. Until I had this terrible experience. I'm not sure if it was a glitch or something more sinister. You can be the judge. I had just logged on to play and was getting ready to jump into a match. I carefully selected my bean's wardrobe and skin, putting on a chicken outfit and changing my face to be purple. I had just unlocked that little purple face and I was excited to show it off. When I hit play, I waited for the game to start, watching my avatar fall on the screen. The weird thing was, I never entered the game. I fell for a long time, and I mean a long time. When it had been over 10 minutes, I attempted to close the game thinking it was glitching out. I couldn't close it. I tried resetting my computer, it wouldn't work. I noticed the screen getting darker. Instead of blue skies around me, the skies were blood red, with dark thunder clouds in the background. I could hear the thunder and almost feel the rain on my own shoulders. I looked up. The room I was in itself looked normal. Delete, a demonic voice emanated from my headphones, low and booming. I threw off my headphones instinctively, but I could still hear the voice in my mind. Die, it said. Delete. I watched on the screen as my jelly bean avatar was skinned and pulled apart before the screen went black. Number 4. The rhythm. Do not listen to the music. If you are playing Fall Guys, mute it, or better yet, avoid playing it altogether. This is a story that happened to a friend who no longer plays. I haven't experienced this myself in-game, but they have, and I'm warning you, it's dangerous. Sean loved playing Fall Guys. He was great at it too. In one session he managed to get 5 crowns, and that was over the course of a few hours. He won most of his game, and I thought he was likely in the top players in the country, possibly even in the world. Sean's secret, or so he claimed, was that he listened to the soundtrack constantly. He said it helped him stay in the rhythm of the game. I'd started doing so too, to try to improve my own game, until this happened. I got a text from Sean one night that just read, "Come outside, I'm waiting." I was confused. Sean should be asleep. It was the middle of the night. But out of curiosity, I went downstairs and stepped outside my front door. Across the street, I saw someone standing in a hot dog mascot costume. They were across the street. They waved at me. I was pretty creeped out, so I went back inside. I checked my phone. "I'm coming." Another text from Sean read. I went to open the door and saw the hot dog crossing the street. I was confused, scared, and I called out Sean's name, hoping it was him, hoping it was some kind of joke. Sean froze in the middle of the street and was hit by a car. The last memory he had was of just listening to his Fall Guys soundtrack while he was in the shower, and then everything gets foggy from there. The doctors believe it was some kind of subliminal messaging in the music that may have prompted him to do what he did. I don't know what he would have done if I hadn't snapped him out of it. And personally, I don't want to know. Number 3. All I can remember is falling. How did I get here? Falling. All I can remember is falling. When I land, I'm confused. It's as though I'm seeing through my eyes for the first time. There are a bunch of small guys. I can't speak. I can't scream. I have no mouth, only eyes. Giant numbers loom above us, counting down. What does it all mean? I feel compelled when I see the words "go" to join the fellow guys in running across these deadly, teetering seesaws, but I don't know why. We are so high up. If I fall, will I die? I survive the round, but notice the sorrow in the eyes of the guys who do not. Those I pass look horrified, terror in their eyes. What happens if you don't qualify? In the next round, I notice my opponents are wearing the colored skin of dead Fall Guys. It's stapled together over top of them. I can see blood at the seams. They all look angry, aggressively, desperately shoving into one another. This time, I don't qualify. I am pushed off the small shelf, falling to my unknown doom. How did I get here? Falling. All I can remember is falling. Number 2. Victory Visitor. One night after playing Fall Guys, I crawled into bed ready to go to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep. I kept thinking of how close I was to unlocking the next reward in the season. So after my parents said goodnight, I snuck downstairs to go back onto the computer. I booted it up, put my headphones on, turned the volume down, and proceeded to play. Halfway through a round, I thought I heard something. I took my headphones off, but didn't hear anyone up. I didn't see any lights on other than the glow of my screen as I peered around. But just as I went to return to my game, I heard a slam. It sounded like a door or a cupboard maybe. Not wanting to give myself up, I stayed quiet. I was going to lose the match if I left, so I tried to ignore the sound and get back in the game. I put the headphones back on, quietly. I raced to the finish line of the final round, jumping and reaching for the crown, and I got it! I let out a cheer, I couldn't help myself. This was my first crown in a long time. As I sat up, I felt my chair bump against something. I took off my headphones. I could hear heavy breathing. I turned around. Behind me was my avatar, out of breath, panting, huge, over 6 feet tall. The crown was in their jellied and wobbling hand. They lifted it before smashing it down on my head. Number 1. Transformation. Do you remember the image of the Fall Guys internal skeleton that was going around a while ago? The one that was created by one of the Mediatonic senior design artists and confirmed as canon? I do. In fact, that image haunted me so much I can't forget it. At first I thought it was strange I couldn't get it out of my mind, but now I'm convinced that image has cursed me somehow. It turns up everywhere. One night I received image messages from an unknown number that were all the pictures of that being's internal skeleton. When I went to school, it somehow showed on a piece of paper wedged in my textbook. I saw it on the side of a bus, on a billboard. Finally, I decided to go to the doctors thinking I must be losing my mind. It must be as a result of some undue stress. I explained the problem to my doctor and they decided to take an x-ray, thinking it could be related to a recent injury I had suffered from a car accident. I had been experiencing some soreness as well, so it kind of made some sense. When my doctor received the x-ray, the look on their face was that of shock. My skeleton seemed to be slowly morphing into that twisted one belonging to the Fall Guy in the picture. Wow, I never thought Fall Guys could be such a scary place. I wonder if we'll see any medieval themed creepypastas with this new season. Imagine a little bean potentially going up against a fire-breathing dragon and getting burnt alive. Yikes. With medieval Fall Guys, the possibilities for creepypastas feel endless. Living in medieval times for most people was like living through a horror story. For now, this has been Top 10 Gaming and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. Thank you so much for watching, fellow gamers. Until next time, keep on gaming on. Pew pew! Just wait, because I should do the thing where I'm like, don't forget to click like, because I forgot to do that. I was so in my creepypasta zone.